My name is Jordan Roth, and this is a special occasion speech on Steve Irwin. I want you to imagine right now a 750-pound saltwater crocodile standing right in front of you. And I know me myself would be very scared of this situation, but there's one man right here who would not have been. His name's Steve Irwin, and he was in those situations all the time because he cares about saving animals so much. I myself grew up watching Steve Irwin. He introduced a lot of us to the conservation scene, and I've got to learn a lot about him throughout the years. Everyone, including me and all of you, have been inspired by someone, so I decided to tribute this speech to Steve Irwin throughout his childhood, career, and his legacy. He's only ever had one goal, and that goal is to conserve wildlife for the future generations. First, talk about his childhood and how he grew up to be a conservationist. So he grew up in Melbourne, Australia, with his mom and dad, who they owned a very small zoo, and his mom was a wildlife rehabilitator. His dad was a wildlife expert. He grew up working on the zoo. He was 9 years old when he started wrestling crocodiles and handling them pretty often. And he joined a group where he saved over 100 crocodiles, and he even rehabilitated a few to his zoo. That's one of them. And you can see he's really been passionate about saving animals for a long time. And he translated that into his career. So he's always been very passionate, and he started a TV show with his wife Terry called Crocodile Hunter, and it's reached over 500 million people. You can see that he's had a very big influence in the conservation scene. He also has bought a lot of land to protect it from land development, and he's also started conservation groups called Steve Irwin Conservation Foundation, which donate money to charities to help conserve animals. As you can see, self-preservation wasn't very high upon his list, but he did want to leave a legacy, and he did that. He died in 2006 because a stingray stung him in the heart, and his legacy is carried on through his family, who still run their zoo, and they have their own TV shows. The land that he bought is still being used, and it's in the form of parks, and the wildlife are protected there. And partly due to his influence, the conservation total spending since 2000 is really increased, partly due to his influence. Now I hope you've all realized how influential of a person Steve was to all of us. Throughout his career, he's really represented the good in humanity, and he's inspired millions of people even after his death. So throughout his childhood, conservation career, and legacy, you can see he's only had one goal, and that's to save wildlife. Now whenever you see an alligator or a crocodile in front of you, just remember, Steve would gladly be in that situation if it meant saving wildlife. Me and many more would like to thank Steve for his sacrifice to conserve our world for future generations.